Many people can't go to sleep without a mask, but not the kind to protect against COVID. The traditional way to treat sleep apnea involves clunky equipment that covers the face. It's called CPAP.
But a Fresno doctor offers a far more convenient method that's virtually invisible. Now Valley patients no longer need to travel to another city to find relief and rest.
Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Doing well. How are you?
Kevin Reynolds used to have only bad mornings. The 15-year veteran of the Fresno Fire Department spent years dragging himself out of bed because sleep apnea robbed him of rest. He struggled with the traditional treatment using the continuous positive airway pressure machine, or CPAP, for years, but it finally became intolerable.
Being a stomach sleeper, fighting hoses all night, knocking it off your face, I felt like I was awake more than I was asleep because of it.
Eventually, he stopped using the CPAP and lived with daily headaches, high blood pressure, and constant fatigue because of oxygen deprivation. Sleep apnea happens when the muscle tone in the upper airway relaxes, blocking breathing 5 times an hour or more. The body then briefly wakes up to restore the airway over and over, often without the patient knowing it. Fresno head and neck surgeon Dr. Benjamin Teitelbaum says diagnosis is key when 2 very common symptoms, snoring and feeling tired, become consistent problems.
It's more of an issue in patients who are overweight. It's more of an issue with certain neurological conditions or facial deformities. But you don't have to have any of those things. Sleep apnea can affect just about anybody.
Finding out if you have sleep apnea is the key to unlocking why you're so tired all the time. And even that has come a long way. No more going to a sleep lab. This take-home device is worn like a headband while you sleep, collecting the data needed for a diagnosis.
But now Dr. Teitelbaum can offer patients a much easier option for treatment. The Inspire device is implanted in an outpatient procedure, allowing the patient to go home the same day. It replaces the cumbersome CPAP, putting a good night's rest literally in the patient's hands.
It turns green and it flashes to let me know it's activating. And then I put it up to my chest.
Once activated, the nerve stimulator sends a signal to stiffen the muscles of the tongue and throat, preventing airway blockages. Kevin's device was implanted about a year ago, and since then, he's never lost a wink of sleep.
And from day one, I woke up without a headache, no headache, blood pressure started coming down.
Well, it's a game changer because if they're unable to tolerate CPAP, the quality of their life is impaired. And that's what it's all about. We would like to improve the quality of their life and the quantity of life that they have.
The Inspire device is FDA approved, and the average $40,000 cost is covered by both insurance providers and Medicare. The battery in the implanted device needs to be changed about every 11 years. Kevin says it saved his sleep, his sanity, and maybe his marriage.
No longer getting hit at night by the wife to breathe, so it's working very well.
You might be asking, who doesn't have sleep apnea, right? If the symptoms are snoring and feeling tired, join the club. But it's the combination of those two for a prolonged period that should be tested and diagnosed. Sleep apnea can lead to cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, stroke, depression, and even traffic accidents because of the oxygen deprivation during sleep and the fatigue it causes during the day. Plenty of patients still prefer the CPAP, but for those who cannot tolerate the equipment, the Inspire implant can be life-changing, allowing people to get restful sleep with a click of the remote.
Well, that is certainly very interesting, Margot, looking at what they're doing now for sleep apnea. But I'm wondering, before you get any of the hardware, get anything implanted, it seems that the bottom line, as you mentioned, is getting that diagnosis.
You have to get to the root of the problem to even find out if you have sleep apnea in the first place, because that can lead to many other health symptoms that you might be suffering from. So the diagnosis is the key, and also your sleep partner will thank you for no longer snoring.
They're the first ones who will notice.
That's right.
Sure.
Thank you for watching. For more videos like this from ABC 30, just make sure to hit that subscribe button below.